Hello everyone, welcome to Laradock and Production short course. In this course we are going to learn how to use Laradock in production. It is good if you have some basic IT, Linux, shell scripting, Docker, dockercompose and Laravel knowledge. But don't worry, if you don't come from an IT background, I will explain everything to you as well, which are used in this course. I don't focus a lot on theory, but hands-on. You can follow along with me and reproduce what I do on the screen. Our goal in this project, if you or your team develop a Laravel project, the modern world needs you to containerize your application and bring it up with a whole application with a single comment in terminal. And why containerized? Because it packs, ships, and run application as a lightweight, portable, and self-sufficient containerized tools. To aim this goal, we will use Laradock module in Laravel. Laradock is a built-in module of Laravel, and Laradock is a full PHP development environment for Docker. Everything is pre-configured and ready to install with a simple dockercompose start command. What is the prerequisite? I'm going to use Ubuntu Desktop. The version is 20.4.2, but you can use any operating system that match your production. Step 2 to step 6 is based on your operating system. You need to install Git, Anytex editor, shell check, and have your Laravel project. So when you install your Ubuntu 20, then there is a few steps that you need to do before starting with the project. First, there is a dependency installation, so you need to use update, upgrade comment, and then also use some transport HTTP to HTTPS comments. Then install PHP, PHP-XML, CLI, and Core. Then you need to install Composer, and then you need to install dockercompose. And after you've done the Docker, so we wanted to see our container, our network inside the container, our volume, everything in a GUI or graphical interface. Then we use Portainer to install and use Portainer inside the Docker in Linux. You need to create a data volume. Then you need to use this command to create a volume and use it. After you've done this, then you have to go in your browser. In your browser, you type 127.0.0.1 and port 90. And the first step, you need to provide a password for your Portainer. I'm just using a simple password. And you can say create user. After creating the user, it will ask you where you want to use this container or this Portainer. I'm saying that's in local server and connect. So it show me everything that is in Docker in a graphic interface. How many containers do I have? The stack, the image, the volume, and the network. The next step is to get a Laravel project. If you don't have already, then go to your terminal, Composer, create project, Laravel, and this is the name of the application. I just use production application. Then go inside the production application and use Composer install to get your dependency. The next step is from your terminal, go to the location of this project. Inside the project and use the command of get clone. Get the Laradock module inside your application. So I'm opening the terminal and we can see Docker version and Docker info also gave us all the information about our Docker, that which version is it, where is it, and all the information. Then we can also type Composer. We have Composer, and also we can use PHP version. We have the PHP 7.4.3, but maybe you can have PHP 8 or PHP 7.3. It depends on your production server. And with the application, you can see here is the production app, and it is located in projects production app. So here we have all the dependency. The project workflow is very simple. We will create a few bash files. Its intended use is to bring up online the project by typing a single command in terminal. The first one is start.sh. We define only command steps in it. Then we will create another bash file in Laradock folder, which is called set environment. This from the name also you know that we will set environment like db name, host name, username, password in the file, and then this file will also copy the .env example file to .env and set the variable on it. The last bash file will start dockercompose and php artisan migrate. If you don't want to bring any changes to the project to the Laradock or Docker folder, then you can basically go to your terminal, and then go to the project or production app, then Laradock, and then here you can type your dockercompose in detach mode app. Bring any services would you like to have: Apache 2, php-myadmin, MySQL, and or not MySQL, you can use Percona, any other services would you like. But we want to use this as a custom, and we want to bring changes to the dockercompose file. So this is Laradock folder. If you want to bring any changes to the Docker or dockercompose containers, then you need to go inside the Laradock folder. In Laradock folder, there you can see a file dockercompose.yaml. This is the file. You can bring any changes that you want to have in your application, and also each container got their own fold. Click on the folder, then here is the docker file. In docker file, it tell you the image information, the label, the work directory after the entry point, anything. So we don't need all this, only need to bring changes to dockercompose file. When you open this dockercompose, there is the first version is 3.5, and then there is a network, front end and back end. You know this information. Front end we can use from outside, like Apache or web server, and the backend is to connect this container with each other. And also there is a volume. Each container got their own volume. So if you don't need some container like this, you can just take it out or you can delete it. And I don't need this one. I don't need a MongoDB. I don't need MariaDB. So you can just take it out, make it as custom as you need. The inside the compose file, the first container is workspace utilities. Workspace container is where you can do all your coding. Or it is online, then you can go inside the workspace container and just type php artisan migrate. It will work for you. And then the second container is php fpm. It is also a dependency, and it is depends on workspace. The third one is PHP worker. This one also depend or related to the above container, so you don't need to touch them. And then from here, you can see if you need Nginx, you just keep it. If you don't need, so you can delete it. And also Blackfire, I don't need it, I can delete it. So you can make it as custom as you need. Apache server, yes, I need it. And the folder is here. You can go up, find it in Apache folder. It should be somewhere here. Here is the folder, so you can see Apache 2 built the image from this folder, and also this is the argument, so you can just click in Docker file if you want to get more information. This will get the image of 18.4 from this URL, and also the port will be AT and 443, so you can bring as many changes as you like. Also, I don't need this one, so you can make it a custom. This all information related to Docker compose file. So now we want to make everything to work with a single command. Then we need to create a few bash file. The first bash file will be in main directory. I can just right click here, new, and I can click to file. Then the file will be start.sh. Here is the file, and also inside the Laradock folder, I can right click, go to new and file. This will be the set environment file.sh.
add to the Git, and also we can add another one. Here is bash.sh. So we just need total these 3 files. The first file is store.sh in main directory, then the set environment file. This file basically copy the 2 env file. One is here, env.example, and the second one is here. It should be here, this one, env.example. It will copy these two to .env file, and it will make changes like database name, database URL, all the information that you need. So to not waste your time, I will just pause the video and paste some comments, and I'll explain everything one by one. We have some comments here. I will explain for you one by one, but first we need to take a look for the env.example file. Here is the env.example file, and this is for Laravel. When you install a Laravel, first it will take all this default variable value, and then you can access your application through this URL. But we don't want this, we want to bring some changes, and I take out all the information from here. I key in or I set the value to specific. I will put only app name, and also I don't want to be this as a local host, so I will change it to app URL. And also here I don't want my connection to be MySQL, then I change it to DB connection. And also the DB host will not be 127 anymore, it will be the container name, so we change it to DB host. And the database name will be production. It is by default, we don't want to change this. And also the password we use also DB password. And if you want to change your username, you just change DB username. So we need these basic changes here. This is enough, so we just equal app name to this app name with a bit different, and then we can go to set in variable. So the first things this bash file will do, copy this env.example file to another file called env, and then it will appear this sentence for the installer that please type D for default. If the installer type D after this sentence, then it will pick up this information that the app name will be production or production app, the URL will be test.production.com, and the php-myadmin URL will be admin-test.production.com. This app name, app URL, and all of them will be set to here. It will basically take that from there and set to here. If the installer press or key in the C, then it will ask the installer one by one to key in the value. What is the app name? What is the app URL? What is the php-myadmin URL? And then this is the MySQL database name. This is the MySQL password. And also generate for me during the installation a password. The password name, the password will be A to Z, and also 0 to 9, only number and alphabet. Then save all this information to env file that we created just now, and also to Laradock environment variable. So this is for set environment. We are done with Laravel, and we want to start working on Laradock. We created a file called bash file to define all the commands that we are using inside the workspace container. So for first, defining where can it use. It is user bin env and bash. So if anything bigger or greater than 0, then here we will define our function. First things we need for dockercompose command. It is dockercompose app d and define how many containers do you need. I just like to have Apache 2, Percona, and PHP my admin. Before we want to start with this, I want to use if someone type something, or if someone type this equal start, then do this command. What this means basically, it means if someone tried bash.sh start, if someone tried this command in terminal, then you use this command dockercompose app -d apache percona php my admin. This is basically, this all codes means only this one in command line. So the second one will be dockercompose down, and here we can say if there's one, we can put inside double quotation, one equal to stop, then dockercompose down. So what this means, this code, this column of code means that if someone type in terminal dot and the file name is bash.sh and then space, if the type is stop, then run this command. Then the third one will be PHP artisan. For this one we need again if this one and inside double quotation equals, again double quotation, and then we can say artisan if someone type artisan, or again this one inside double quotation with a space, don't forget the space in between, equal, again double quotation art, then shift 1 and then use dockercompose inside the workspace container, then use bash-c to define the command php artisan and any command in front. So what this telling, this part of the code saying if someone in terminal type bash.sh, that this is the file name, and type that art. So if someone type this code, then it will go to inside the workspace container where we can do all our command line, or like PHP, PHP artisan migrate, go inside this container, workspace container, and run this command. So we go for another one. This one will be PHP artisan migrate command, and again we can say if 1 equal, then again we say that PHP artisan migrate space, another one, close it, or inside double quotation 1 and again equal to we can just use a short comment PAM, it means PHP artisan migrate, then shift the 1 and then dockercompose inside the workspace container and inside the bash, and then again run this command for me. php artisan migrate. So what this part of the code doing for us? Okay, just here we forgot the double quotation. Okay, so this part of code telling us that if someone in terminal type bash.sh and then type pam, if someone type this one or type php artisan migrate, then you go to run dockercompose, go inside the workspace container and write php artisan migrate. So we don't need to do all this in one by one to go inside the container. Inside the container we run this command. We just basically in terminal type .bash.sh pm php artisan migrate. And the next comment will be if you have a few database, for example, you have two database and you want to use the second one, then still you can migrate artisan migrate for path 2, for example, path number 2. And this command you can still use if and then space, and then you can use $1. It is equal to inside double quotation. We can say that this one will be a PHP artisan migrate, and the path will be here. I use a single quotation, and then we say go to var, go to www, go to database. This is depends on your production file, and then migration, and then use the 01 file, and then close again this with single quotation, and also close it with double quotation. Then we use one space, or if someone type all this comment, if they don't want this all comment, then maybe they use these short comments, $1 and then equal, and another double quotation is PHP artisan migrate 01. Then shift the 1 and then use docker compose inside, and then go to inside workspace container inside the bash and use this comment PHP artisan migrate path var www database migrations 01. So what this saying, this means if someone type /bash.sh then php pam01, if someone in terminal type this comment, then you should run you go inside the workspace container and run this command line. But if you don't need, if you use only one a database, then you can ignore this part and you create just another one. So for this is for database, you can create how many you have. If you want to create for composer, then also you can just define comment composer, and it'll say if space and $1 inside double quotation equal to, again, composer space, or if someone type comp then shift the 1 and then docker compose inside, go to work space container and then use the bash there, then run this command composer. So what this part means, it means if someone in terminal type bash the file name .sh and then type comp, you should go to docker compose inside the container, the container name is workspace, and then run composer comment. So we go for another example also. If you want to use composer install, then I define here composer install comment, and is a f, then double quotation $1. It is equal to composer if someone type composer install, or if 1 equal to someone type comp ins, then go to this shift 1 after that, then run the docker compose, exit, go inside, and then inside the workspace container using the bash, and then try this comment composer install. So this also means if someone in terminal type bash.sh comp inis, then you go inside this workspace container and run composer install. We explained before that workspace is the container that we can run all the commands inside this container. So we can continue or until you need, but I think it's enough for you to understand how this works. And if, for example, you want to try another PHP test unit, then you can just use the same else if, then double quotation, then $1 space equal, then inside double quotation test, then go to shift 1 and then docker compose, exit inside, and then go to workspace container and use the bash and run these comments var dot var or render bin php unit, and after that anything comes. Then we use a single quotation here and a double quotation. Okay, so that is it. And after all of them we want to close these else docker compose and any comment they want to run, and also close this. Here they will show existing containers if nothing else to do, and then we can say else docker compose ps and fi. Okay, it's ready. So this is the way you define all the commands you want to run in terminal. And now it is time that we can go to terminal here to run these all comments. But I don't want to run a terminal one by one. So for this purpose, I created another file. Let me save this. I created another file in main folder that called start.sh. So here, what I need first things, I need to run this environment set environment file to set all, to copy this .env.example to .env and set all variable. First, you find out where it is. Set env is here at the same folder. So we just put dash slash, and we can put set env.sh. So these comments inside the start will go and run this file. It will see it copy the example to env, and then it asks for the installer if you want type D for all this manual, if not type C, that key in all the value you want for database username, for database password. And the second one is PHP artisan migrate or composer install. Then if we want to run composer install, we just come to bash file, and where is composer install? This is composer install. So in this case, we just pick this comment, comp ins. We go to start.bash and we ask them to cd Laradock, go inside the Laradock. When you're inside the Laradock, then take the bash.sh file and then run comp inis. It means composer install. So we can define this one, set the variable for .env file, and then this two will here, this two will composer install, and then we come to PHP artisan migrate. So for this one, I just pick up dash bash.sh, and then from bash file I pay PHP artisan migrate. Where is PHP? This is PHP artisan migrate. Here is PHP artisan migrate. So I just need to take this comment PAM. I go to start.sh PAM. So what this basically do, it says first set the variable, then inside this small comment will do install composer, run the composer install command inside the Laravel, and also this small command will run PHP artisan migrate. So for run all the application only by single comment, you need to go to your terminal. From here or from here is the same. From the terminal, I can click here, and now you're inside the project. So just type start.sh. This file, the name is start.sh. So we just need this only now. So if I type and click this one from start.sh, it will run this one step by step. But here we forget something. We need to use the Docker Composer app comment. Here we can use Docker Compose app, and here we need to go inside the bash file and check what is the comment. So we need just start comment to run all this application. So where is it? Inside Laradock. Okay, inside Laradock we can define Docker Compose app. And what is the comment? The comment is bash.sh start. So if type this one in terminal, it will use this comment, Docker Compose app -d Apache PHP my admin. And then but don't forget, here you need to make each file executable. For this one, if you're admin, just use chmod +x execute, and the file name is setenv.sh, and the same I'm using for start.sh. And I go inside Laradock, I use the same x for bash.sh, and I'm going one step back. Okay, so we are done for everything. Now I want to bring up all the application only by typing a single comment in terminal. That is start.sh. Before I typing the single comment, I go to the container and see here only I have one container. The name is container, and I don't have any volume, just only one, and also I don't have any image. But when I start typing that single comment, it will go to build all the image. The first it will ask me M for default and C for custom. If I type M, it will just pick this few comment line from here, from set.env, this few first, and just key into the our application. If I type C, then it will ask me to key in your favorite. So I just choose M, and it will take between 10 to 15 minutes to build all our images. So I'll pause the video and show you later. Oh, okay, so it's almost done currently, and it's running the Composer update and Composer install, so there is no error at all. We can go to the container, and here you can see there is Apache, there is PHP FPM, php-admin, and workspace, Percona, and Docker in Docker. So we can remove Docker in Docker. We don't need, just we need this four: Percona, PHP, Apache, and php-admin. But PHP FPM and workspace, this use dependency with each other. So I'll show you one more trick here in bash.sh. You see there is a lot of code. So if you still don't get how to type or use this code, then I make it more simple for you. I can just bring it in one line here, and also bring this one here. So basically this is a full comment which we can use in terminal. See, I can go to terminal and then inside the Laradock, and I can paste this comment. See, dockercompose, go inside this workspace, container. When go to inside this workspace container, then in console, go to bash and connect. See here, and then the comment, this comment here until bash dockercompose, go inside workspace or inside bash, and then run php artisan migrate. So you can run here, or you can run inside this. It is both the same way, php artisan, and now you can just press migrate or composer update here or there. It's still the same way. So we just make it short. All this comment, only type it here, and we change it to this very short comment, PAM. And this is all the project. So if you have any questions, any suggestion, please drop it on the comment area. Thank you very much.